Hi, this is Dave, Fell Running Guide. Welcome to this week's navigation task. This week we've got a slightly different task. I just want to know the difference in height between the place where the photograph was taken and this feature circled here. So what's the difference in height between these two locations? The map we're using is the Ordnance Survey 1 to 50,000 map. So we need to find where we are, where the photo was taken on there, and can we find the feature circled and look at their respective heights. So let's look at the photograph to start with. And what are the main features that we are looking at? Well, we've got a flattish area ahead of us that drops away, and we've got this woodland here, left to right as we look, and then we've got these two distinctive hill features here with a sort of a saddle in between them, and we're looking for the right hand summit as we look, and then the ground drops down from off that right shoulder down to this woodland, and then we've got an obvious man-made feature here. Looks like it's a bridge, a viaduct over the reservoir. We can just about see the reservoir there, and beyond that the ground rises. We've got this big area of woodland here, and then we've got a long horizon line up in the distance there. So can we identify any of that on the map? Well, we've only got two bridges to choose from. There's one here and one here on Ladybow Reservoir, and that bridge is over away to our right as we're looking. So could we be looking at this bridge off to our right? We can certainly see there's some woods beyond it and high ground up beyond, so we could be looking down at that. I don't know, maybe over here, somewhere over here. But what about the ground rising up to the left of it with the two individual hills? We'd be expecting to see those up here somewhere if that was our bridge, and that doesn't look like there is anything. So what about if we were looking down onto this road bridge here? Again, we've got the woods beyond, and then the ground up and to the left we've got here. This would be a skyline here. It just says edge, it's actually Derwent Edge, so we could be looking up at that skyline beyond these woods. What about those two hills to the left of the bridge? Well, if we come up here, look, we've got Crook Hill there, and then we've got another ring contour with these little black markings, little rocky outcrops here. So that makes more sense that we're looking at these two hills of Crook Hill there. So those two hills. So that's that. So if we want to work out the elevation, we need to find the height of that right hand, the right hand most of Crook Hill as we look. Well, we can see the contours here. We can see we've got a 350 index contour here coming in and then stopping, and then another index contour there, which would be the same one, so that'd be 350. And similarly on this southeasterly Crook Hill, if we zoom in a little bit, we'll be able to see that in more detail. So this one here is a 350, which makes that one also the 350, which makes this one also the 350, that index contour, the slightly bold one, and then there's one more contour in there, so that's the 360 contour. So that tells us that this Crook Hill is at least 360 meters above sea level, so let's call it 365 to be somewhere in the middle. So Crook Hill 365. What about our location? Now this is a little bit trickier. Quite a few people struggled with getting the precise location on this one. What we need to do is look at some really obvious features that we know we can really easily identify. So over on the far horizon we've got this little pimple sticking up, which is some kind of rocky feature that's going to show up on the map. And then as we come down from it, we've got an obvious stream in there, if you can see it, comes down into this woodland, and we've got this distinctive shape of that woodland there. Again, I'm going to zoom in and let you have a a closer look at that. So rocks on the horizon, some rocks further left of that, and then this stream coming in there. So can we identify that? Well, there's a Crook Hill, and then away beyond here, look, we've got a stream coming down, and that's that obvious edge of that woodland. So that little pimple would be the wheelstones, and then that's a rocky outcrop there of white tor being the other rocky ground. So wheelstones, we've positively identified that and this stream. So now we need to look at how they appear to us in relation to this Crook Hill to work out where we are stood, or where the photographer is stood. So you can see the orientation. We've got Crook Hill, and then away to the right is that stream, and then right again is that wheelstones. So how do they line up when we look at the map? Let's have a check on that. So I've put a line on the map there. Some people suggested the photo was taken from Wooler Knoll, but if it was, we'd be looking through the gap of these two twin hills and out to that stream and the wheelstones, and it doesn't look like that at all on the photograph. Wheelstones is much further over to the right, so we can't be on Wooler Knoll, so that rules that out. And another line on the map, some people suggested we were on Win Hill, but if we were on Win Hill, we would be looking straight across that bridge in a direct line to the wheelstones there. And if we look at the photograph, you can see that those wheelstones are much further over to the left. They're not beyond and above that bridge there, are they? That's miles away. So that rules that out. So we're somewhere in between. Now, if we look, we've got a little building in the middle of these two there. So that helps. And also, if we sort of line ourselves up with this stream and just this right shoulder coming off Crook Hill, can we do that? Can that help us? Okay, so a couple of more lines on the map here, look, lining up that stream with the shoulder of Crook Hill, and also this building here through the middle of Crook Hill, and that puts us on this contour line here, which is the 410 metre contour, because the summit there is 460, so the index contour there is the 450, the next index contour down is the 400, so we're at 410, and we said Crook Hill was at 365, so you can work out your simple math. 365 up to 410 gives you, don't all shout out at once, 45 metres. So that was your answer this week. And it wasn't really about identifying or working out the actual heights. It was more about using some definite features in the landscape and orientating ourselves by lining them up and seeing where we were, what they looked like in relation to us and other features. So hope you enjoyed it. Doesn't matter if you got it wrong. I hope you learnt something from it. Thanks for watching. Look out for next week's navigation task. Bye for now.